Hi, my name is Victoria Olivas and I'm from campus Eugenio Garzazada.
Hi, my name is Ed Martinez and I'm from campus Eugenio Garzazada.
Hi, my name is Emilia Ortiz and I'm from Campus Vallalto.
Hello, my name is Rebecca Rodriguez and I'm from Campus Vallalto.
The accident occurred in April 26 from 1986, when operators took actions in violations of the plant's technical specifications. Operators ran the plant at a very low power, without adequate safety precautions or properly coordinating the procedure with the safety personnel. The hot particles reacted with water and caused a steam explosion, which blew off the cover of the top of the reactor, destroying the rest of the pressure tubes, causing a second explosion, and exposing the reactor core to the environment and to the people.
The Chernobyl plant did not have the massive containment structure common like most of the nuclear power plants around the world. Without this protection, radioactive material escaped into the environment, generating distinct damages to the buildings in the city, killing a lot of people and wildlife animals.
Some facts about the Chernobyl reactor accident is: number 1. The 4 Chernobyl reactors were pressurized water reactors of the Soviet design, or high-power canal reactor, designed to produce both plutonium and electric power. Number 2. The fire burned for 10 days, releasing a large amount of radiation into the outside. Number 3. The Chernobyl 4 reactor now is enclosed in a concrete structure that is weakening over time. Ukraine and a group of 8 industrialized nations have agreed on a plan to stabilize the existing structure by constructing an enormous new structure around it.
An exponential function usually has these characteristics. It's a one-to-one function. His horizontal asymptote is y equals 0. Domain is minus infinite, comma, infinite. Range is 0 to infinite. There is no x-intercept, and the y-intercept is 0, 1, like in the graphic shown in our conclusion, and it is increasing if b is more than 1 and decreasing if b is minus than 1. Exponential decay describes the process of reducing the amount by a consistent percentage rate over a period of time.
Exponential growth is defined as the increase in the number or size at a constantly growing rate. It is one possible result of the reinforcing feedback loop that makes a population or system grow by increasingly higher amounts. It is usually defined by f x equals abx. In the graph presented is an example of a basic exponential function. The domain is the set of all possible values in the independent variable, and the range is the set of all possible values in the dependent variable. To find the domain, you have to put from negative infinite to the vertical asymptote union, and from the vertical asymptote to the positive infinite. To find the range is from negative infinite to horizontal asymptote, and from the horizontal asymptote to the positive infinite.
A real-life example of growth exponential rate will be when they launch a rocket to the space. The speed of the rocket starts growing exponentially, so it could fly away and carry with the rocket's weight. Then, when it gets out of the atmosphere, the rocket starts to disengage its source of power and start decreasing its speed.
Another example will be the useful life of a car. When you buy a car, it starts with an original value, but as long as you use it, the value of this car will be devalued. So the amount of money that you will receive when you change this original car will be less than the value it had when you first buy it. This is an example of a decay rate.
Exponential growth is defined as increase in a number or size at a constantly growing rate. It is usually defined by fx equals ab to the x. There are ways to prevent it. According to our investigation on how the accident occurred, the RBMK reactor design was wrong. So it was 1.3 meters shorter than it should. So this led to a malfunction in how many neutrons were absorbed initially. Once the explosion happened, there was no turning back, unfortunately. There was no way of holding the radiation or pollution back. So it's probable that a very small percentage of radiation reached Mexico, because it was spread into the air, so yeah, at some point it reaches. One of the most known environmental consequences of this disaster was the extreme contamination in the Red Forest, located near Chernobyl. It is called like that because a few days after the accident, the forest was completely red due to the extreme radiation in the air. Also, the accident caused many countries around Europe to become highly contaminated. Another one of the consequences is that around the world, many countries shut down any kind of plans for the future of developing nuclear energy, such as Germany. 200,000 square kilometers of Europe were contaminated, and it will remain like this for at least the next 100 years. Now, what are the environmental consequences of nuclear energy and also nuclear weapons? As history has taught us, we must be very careful with everything related with nuclear energy. Disasters like Chernobyl, World War II, and Fukushima's radiation leak show us how dangerous this is. It also destroyed any possibility of agricultural development in the area. It also shows the extremely destructive potential of nuclear weapons. This technology in the wrong hands is a threat to humanity, although it does not emit greenhouse gases or emissions associated with carbon dioxide. This type of energy is very dangerous when released into the atmosphere. This was definitely a different way of working. We did like it, and yes, it was more difficult than the usual teamworks because our teammates were in another campus. Increase the diversity in our ideas, and that was one advantage of it.